There's some key things to note as we start comparing simulator and emulator tools. The first thing we need to do is make sure that we have consistent comparisons of error. The way that this is done is we should be querying each simulator tool with the exact same query, and we should be seeking the exact same results. Within this tool, we should be running the same problem, the same simulation, and although there might be different representations being used by the different tools, the input and the output should be designed to be as close to each other as possible, such that we can validate their relative correctness and identify which has more or less error. Now, to achieve consistent results with latency and cost comparisons, the way that we would do this is by using the same compute platform to run both simulator tools. It doesn't make sense to benchmark a simulator tool on one platform and then a second simulator tool on another, because the platform that we run on will dictate the cost and the latency of running the simulation. Not so much the error unless the systems are very, very different, but that is usually not the case with modern computers. Now, the key point here is benchmarking different simulators for your own project might be challenging. So the way that this would best look is if the community itself created benchmarks and cross-validations between different design tools. And this would actually be in favor of most developers of quantum network simulation and emulation tools. The first reason being that if you can show that your error is in line with other tools, that shows that your simulator or emulator is actually reproducible, that you are able to reproduce the results of other tools, and those tools are able to reproduce your results. That helps indicate that each of these tools are outputting the correct results, or at least that they are consistent with each other. Second, cross-validation between the tools helps validate the correctness and the accuracy of different tools. So even if different methods are being applied, if they both agree on the same answer, that is a good sign in validating the correctness of your design tools. Now, benchmarking would be really great to have across the community of simulator and emulator developers in the quantum networking space. However, this does require community engagement, whereas each party involved would need to be actively engaged with developing these benchmarks and contributing their source code to be used for benchmarking.